last night, while planning our Super Bowl Monday, an elite group of conspiracy theorists, good, you reach across the aisle, people who answered tweets with, "Do you hear yourself right now?" and Eric Stonestreet fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to deliver the best segment in all of sports. It's an honor and a privilege. It's time for a week before the Super Bowl edition of Nick's Tears. It's going to be great.
Indeed it is, and I have to share something with the audience. The committee last night worked hard into the night and early morning, preparing 2 sets of tiers. One that I was excited to present, I thought Greg would like, I know Brew would like, and sadly, Wildes put the kibosh on.
What was it?
All-time dynasty tiers. You're going to get into a good debate about the Steel Curtain
I think it would've
Steelers,
been great.
about the 70s Dolphins. What about the Bart Starr Packers? Oh, my goodness. Wildes was like, nobody wants to hear about the Purple People Eaters, Nick. I'm like, they never won a Super Bowl. They weren't on there.
Great podcast.
And so instead,
stellar podcast.
we're just doing the 2025 way too early NFL tiers. Bottom of the tiers. Mock draft season. It's obvious. I mean, it's just hit jackpot in the draft. That's all it is. That's what you're open for. Are they even trying, tier? Here's the thing. Feels like these 3 teams are just kind of satisfied where they are. Like, we're going to be, barring catastrophic injury, we're going to be in the mix. We're going to be fine. Maybe we'll win a playoff game. I know the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game in a couple decades, but maybe we will. But no shot at all, actually, of winning a championship, but that's fine. Want to believe in the quarterback, the Prince, Penix, Drake May, and Bryce Young. Like, I understand it's a 53-man roster, there's coaching changes with a couple of these teams, I get all of that. But if you're a fan of any of these 4 teams, your offseason is about how do we support the quarterback? Is this quarterback who we think he's going to be?
The guy's Pro Bowler. I don't know if that's fair. Want to believe in the quarterback. The guy's in the Pro Bowl.
You
don't believe in Pro Bowl? You don't believe in Lamar Jackson?
I got to tell you.
Guy's in the Pro Bowl. What are you talking about?
Michael Penix, who started 2 games, I feel like we're a couple people bowing out from him being a Pro Bowler too.
We absolutely
At this point, there's
well, Mike Evans was a Pro Bowl reserve. Do we not believe it that Mike Evans is a good wide receiver?
Next! I mean, maybe. So you can see a path here for all 4 of these teams. The Seahawks path simple. They won 10 games last year. First year with the new head coach. If Geno can continue at the level that he's been at, but the defense gets better in year 2 under Mike McDonald, you see what they can do. For the Bears, it's the path I thought there was, and I think a lot of people thought I was picking them for the playoffs a year ago, but now with Ben Johnson. The Niners, the injury stuff levels out. And the Jets, it's Aaron. Listen,
You're warming up to the Jets.
100%. 100%. Last year, I didn't like the Jets because I didn't believe in the coach or the quarterback. They already changed the coach. They might be changing the quarterback. Next, further away than they think. So these were the 3 AFC wildcard teams.
Good.
Problem is this. They just got no shot at making the Super Bowl. We were talking about, is Josh Allen ever going to make one? Well, what about Lamar? Is Burrow ever going to make another one? What about these guys? We're like, Mahomes is blocking those people. Those guys got to get through the other guys to get to the guy just to have a chance to play the real guy. So they're in trouble. Need a big splash. All these teams are good. I don't think any of them are good enough. So whether that big splash means big free agency signing or just dominate the draft, I do believe in the general core of all these teams. I believe in the quarterback of 3 of them. The reason I say 3 is I'm not including the Vikings because we don't even know who the quarterback definitively is going to be next year. You like the coach of most of these teams, but it just feels like they need something to get them to that next level. A lot of similarities. Washington is looking at the Texans and the Packers, not as a blueprint, but as a cautionary tale. As far as amazing rookie seasons, amazing, years making the playoffs, all of it, going to be a very trendy pick next year for the Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden you win 0 playoff games, you feel like you're the Texans. That's unfair. They won a playoff game. I apologize. But they don't really take that next step the way you would hope. So nothing against the Commanders, but whatever season autopsy you do, maybe also do one on the Texans and the Packers and figure out where you think they maybe made some slight missteps, why they didn't move forward from 23 to 24. Losses looking worse. Sorry, bro. And Wildes, 2 of your guys' teams. Now all of a sudden it looks like these are the 7th and 8th place teams. Because they lost to the team that lost to the team that one of them is going to have then lost to the team. It's one thing to get rolled by the Commanders. It's another thing to then see the Commanders get rolled by the Eagles, especially if the Eagles then get rolled by the Chiefs. It's another thing to get rolled by to get beat by the Bills, and then the Bills get beat by the Chiefs, and then if the Chiefs lose the whatever it is, how close were those teams? I guess they were close, but like we've seen before, they lost to a team that then lost to a team. For the record, before we put this up, I got in a screaming match with Marshall, the guy who writes
Marshall
the
is
tier names.
so vocal.
Well, he's the writer of the names for this tier name.
Really?
I didn't like it. Already denied 1 three-peat. Real cute, Marshall. So we don't look at it this way. The Patriots won the 2016 and 2018 Super Bowl. They were in the 2017 Super Bowl. Why didn't they three-peat? Because the damn Philadelphia Eagles and Nick Foles. Now they have now again the world changes. Maybe they don't win it in 2018. I understand. It's also why I thought this was dumb, Marshall. But regardless, and now they have a chance to truly deny a three-peat. This tier name, however, I fully endorse. Now 0-8 in Super Bowls. Sorry, Buffalo. It's just true. 0-4 with Jim Kelly. 0-4 in your annual Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. It is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I know it's tough, but 0-8 in Super Bowls. That's a record no one will ever match. And then last but not least, for good or for bad, America's team. Polarized, got a whole conspiracy corner in it. Brew mentioned there's a whole Trump faction, but there's also, by the way, a whole liberal faction of it. There is some of the absolute best things you've ever seen that brings with it some of the most annoying stuff, and also undeniably great. There are the latest edition, Greg Jennings, of America's team. Of Nick's tiers. Yeah, it was
uplifting.
Yeah, a little bit. We try.
Okay, I see the tiers, and I'm going to go straight down to the I mean maybe.
Okay.
And before I even talk about this team, I want to set this stage really quick.
Please.
I talked about this team at the beginning of this year, and I said this team isn't going to make the postseason.
Remind everyone.
For a specific reason. It was based on the injuries. The 49ers, they will be back. And they should, honestly, if I'm preseason, I'm bumping them up 2 tiers to not because of the title need a splash. I just like them up 2 tiers. This team is going to be motivated. You get back your defensive guy in Robert Saleh. You feel really good about what that's going to look like with the health of Greenlaw. Get some guys back healthy on offense. Obviously, Ayuk's going to be motivated. Kyle Shanahan's going to be motivated. Christian McCaffrey missed half the year. Like, you got to
maybe sign Darnold.
You got
the quarterback spot.
You got a quarterback who's kind of in limbo.
Am I
going to get my money? Do I have to prove it again? Like, you got the 11th pick of the draft. You can address some issues, possibly on your offensive line or wherever you want to look at. Ricky Pearsall got some time. He started to look like, okay,
yeah,
we got pieces. They have all the pieces. I wasn't out on them because they weren't a good team. I was out on them because I felt like they were going to get injured, and they did.
You were right.
The healthy version of this team, I mean, maybe.
Okay.
Wow. I
like that.
It's a great take.
I like that
and I like the insta pivot. I like the reminding the audience I was right about this team.
Course.
And then, yeah, as well.
Purdy will be $45 million richer.
Bro, he's not taking $45 million.
I guarantee you he'll take $45.
Wow.
You guarantee it?
Yeah, he just seems like the type of guy.
Don't know him, but I think he'll take. Yeah, he seems like that type of dude. All right. Stop joshing.
What?
It should be up in a moment. Stop joshing. Eagles number 2.
Oh, okay.
Now, at the risk of sounding like Kevin Wildes, One team is still playing.
Yep.
One team is in the Super Bowl, and the other team is not. So it seems to me the Eagles should be second, and the Bills should be third.
Solid.
I mean, right? They're still alive. They got a chance to win the Super Bowl. The Bills don't. All right? And here's the other thing. Defense. Who got the better defense?
Eagles.
Between Philly and Buffalo?
Yeah.
Philly.
Okay. Who's got the better wide receivers?
Eagles.
Better running game?
Eagles.
I mean, James Cook is nice, but there's no.
Yeah.
Better offensive line. Both are good, but Eagles,
I would call that almost a wash.
Both are good, but I go Eagles. Now, of course, they got the better quarterback in Buffalo.
How about the coach? Second winningest coach?
No, he's tied.
You'd probably give McDermott.
He's literally
yeah,
tied.
if you want to tie him.
Yeah,
we did a okay.
I probably would give McDermott a little slight edge in that.
Been to Super Bowl.
But also here's the other thing. Why this is the final factor in why the Eagles should be ahead of the Bills, and maybe it's just circumstance. They haven't had to play them as much, but like I said yesterday, the Chiefs are not floating around in the back of the Eagles' head.
I don't know.
As like, can we beat this thing? The Eagles believe. Now, they might be wrong, but the Eagles wholeheartedly believe to the point of saying, whoever we play, good luck.
Yeah.
They believe. The Bills would never say that about the Chiefs. They would never be like, good luck.
But they also, to be fair,
because the
Eagles didn't know they were saying that about the Chiefs.
Well, he knew he had a 50% chance. All right. So I'm just saying the Eagles have to be second.
No, but they don't. But here's why
it's just common sense.
It's not common sense, and here's why I know you'll agree with me, Brew. There have been plenty of times in NFL or NBA history where the two best teams meet in the conference finals. When the NFC was winning every Super Bowl when I was growing up, Brew was, I think, you know what I mean, at this point, getting his doctorate or something. But covering the league. But when it was Cowboys-Niners or when it was Niners-Giants, those were in the NFC Championship game, those were the two best teams. Then they went on and played in the Super Bowl. There were plenty of times.
I totally agree. I just don't think this is one of those.
Okay, no, so that's totally fair. The point that I'm making is I just don't think we can just flatly say, because the Eagles are still playing and the Bills aren't, the Eagles are better than the Bills, because in 10 days, the Eagles are going to play the team the Bills just played. I don't know about you guys. I'm not sure the Eagles are going to be in the position Buffalo was in. Down 3 with the ball, chance to go win that game.
Neither does Cap.
But so let's say let's say the Eagles lose by a touchdown. Would you take that to mean the Bills are better?
Well, I mean, lose by a touchdown, not necessarily. I guess we'd have to see, you know what I mean, see how that game is played. The point that I'm making is because the brackets are split.
Yeah, no,
I think that there are plenty of times where a team that loses in the conference championship game was the second best team, and I happen to believe that is the case.
I would have picked the Eagles over the Bills. How about you?
Yeah, of course. Oh. I'm on the verge of being an Eagles.
Hold on. Can I just say something real quick? We are saying that right now. I think had the Bills.
Oh, you mean in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl.
Had the Bills beaten the Chiefs, I think a lot of people would be like, that, you know what I mean? That they would feel supercharged. It's their year in a different way. So that's the only pushback I would. Go ahead.
I hear you.
I've got a lot of nicknames on the show. The newest one I'm trying to market myself, Mr. Continuity. Do you know why? Because I love continuity. Put the Mr. in front.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I like Schottenheimer. You know why? The Cowboys didn't need a full reset. Cowboys just need a little tweak. That's what Mr. Continuity likes. Hey, I just got to change my office. I don't have to have a brand new everything. I know the quarterback. I know the offense. I've had success with the quarterback. His first year as OC with Dak, how did Dak do? Amazing. 36 touchdowns. They were 12-5.
For this?
No,
but it worked.
Yeah, that's true.
So I know McCarthy's in the mix, obviously, but it worked. I like the continuity of it. No Micah this year. I think this year you can just throw out the window. No Micah, they weren't that good. With Micah, they were good. What do you need to do differently? Obviously, just run the ball.
Where's the record with Micah?
Well, what'd they win? 7 or 8 games?
Yeah, they got a little hot at the end.
Yeah.
But he's trying to pick up a little bit.
7 and 10.
Yeah, so then they were 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
But still, you know.
And the quarterback got hurt.
Give me a break.
Just double
2021, in 2022, they were 9th in rushing yards. 2023, they were 14th. So we're heading in the wrong direction. This year, they're 27th. They're averaging just about 100 yards a game. Ooh, Ashton Genty sitting there in the draft. All of a sudden, one draft pick, fix your running problem.
Enrico Dowdle
came alive at the end.
Now he likes
He came on late. I'm just giving him credit. Keep it real.
Run the ball. Dak is back to being Dak. Continuity. Mike is there. Eberflus should be pretty good.
So
what does that lead to?
Leads to the fact that I don't think there'll be, bottom dwellers.
So here's the thing.
Giants.
If I can just show the tiers one more time real quick. I don't think the Cowboys, Dolphins, or Colts should be worse than every team above them. The reason that I put them where they are, or we put them where they are, I should say, is because I think that all of those teams have a defined hard ceiling that I'm not willing to put on any of the teams above them. The row above them, those 4 teams, it's like, hey, maybe our quarterback takes the leap. The row above them are actually teams that were either good this year or we think could have been. I just think the Cowboys, Dolphins, and Colts are in this. If everything goes terribly, 7 wins. If everything goes perfectly, 12 wins, and no chance at winning a championship. So that's in the offseason. It's just not that exciting, and I'm not as
become a Cowboys
revved up. I'd love you to be. I'd love you to be.
Really?
The Cowboys guy.
Maybe.
It's there.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Nobody's
Eagles
on
have
that
a little
corner.
Super Bowl hangover.
Well,
Sophomore slump. The Giants are going to do nothing. All of a sudden,
You're going to end up
Cowboys
being
are
Wildes, can I tell you something if I know you at all? You're going to end up being a Giants guy. They're going to sign one of these second-rate quarterbacks who you will fall in love with, and you're going to be
not
a Giants
guy. I'm just not.
Because they beat you in the Super Bowl?
No, they're just too close. I just don't. Just not a Giants guy.
All right.
I was a Saquon guy though.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.